What's up, guys? What I wanted to talk about today is something called tilt, or being on cold stretches. The reason I've never actually talked about it on my channel before, despite being on YouTube for several years now, and I figure with the amount of people that have been sending me private messages and leaving comments on my video, that I figured now would be an appropriate time to talk about it, especially with the Christmas noob influx, because those are the guys that have been asking me the most. They're saying, how do I deal with a lot of the different players being so much more advanced than me, and how do I deal with cold stretches and going 7 and 20, and how do I make things look better, or how do I get better and prevent getting angry or frustrated or discouraged. And that's what I'm going to make the video about today. Of course, it's subjective. The info I'll give to you that works for me might not work for you. So if you have a different suggestion, please leave it in the comments, and maybe those Christmas noobs can look at that, absorb that information, and implement it, and we'll go from there. So a lot of the video game subculture calls it being on tilt, and I just can't get used to that. Call it my extensive sports background or not, I usually just call it being on a cold stretch. But we've all been there, basically. Your aim is just off one day after it's normally pretty true. Your positioning is questionable. You might see a long corridor and be like, there's no way I'm going down there. There's no way I'm going to live. You change your mind, you die, and you're like, why the hell did I do that? Or my absolute worst, this one drives me insane, is I might have entered a building. I might check the doorway figuring I know someone's coming. I'll look away for 2 seconds, and a guy walks in the door and kills me, and I'm like, God damn it. Like, it's just part of being human. Everybody gets frustrated. Everybody goes through the trials and tribulations of having off days. So what I wanted to do in the video is give you tips that work for me. And like I said, if it doesn't work for you, someone will probably post something in the comments, but try it out. But for me, this is what usually works. Well, for me personally, I'm not the type that gets really, really angry. I'm not going to like throw my controller or my keyboard. But usually I'll just yell a bit. I might swear. But it's the competitor in me. I don't care if it's a video game and I'm getting paid nothing and wasting time, or whether it's like my full-time job, or if I was getting paid for it. I am the competitive type. I am going to get angry if things aren't going well for extended periods of time. It's just how it goes. It's how it is for me. And I'm sure a lot of you are the same. Some of you might get discouraged. Some of you might be like, oh, I'll never be able to do it, or something of that sort. And either way, it's fine. But the thing that usually works the best for me is whenever I'm playing a video game, and say I have 2-3 matches in a row where I'm just not playing well, and whether it's because my aim is off or just circumstance. Like sometimes playing in operations, especially in like the Oil of Empire style of operations, so, when you're playing in Foul Fortress, sometimes that the Dreadnought, the ship, sometimes it can just kill you just standing there, just being there. You might not have done anything wrong. You just died because there's no cover. And so that would be the first step to me, is I would just analyze what's going wrong. See if it's you. See if your aim happens to be off that day. See if you're rushing around aimlessly. See if you're normally how you'd implement cover. See if you're not implementing cover as much. First, try and diagnose what's going wrong. See if it's in your control. See if it's out of your control. See if it's something that just happens to be going wrong in this match on this day. Or see if it's maybe you. Say you may be taking a break for a week and you're rusty. Your aim is off. See if you're under stress. See if you're tired. Tired's a big one too. There'll be times where like I feel like I have to post and get some gameplay for a video to post on YouTube. But I might have worked, or I might have been out with my friends. I might get home at 11 o'clock and I'm a little tired. And I've noticed that sometimes my reaction time will be slower, or my aim just won't be as true as it probably normally should be. So getting rest, that's a big deal. Playing tired is always going to lead to trouble with you. And like I said, going back, analyze what is going wrong. See if it is within your fault. See if it isn't your fault. If you diagnose and say maybe it is my decisions, slow down. See if taking your time works better. See if waiting for the enemy to come to you as opposed to you going to get them builds your confidence back. See if it builds back your aim. See if it like gets you back into the mindset of playing more intelligent strategy as opposed to running around. And most of all, if it isn't your fault, maybe you can just leave that server. Sometimes some servers are so horribly stacked against you, where a team, you might be playing against a pre-made team and you're with a whole bunch of people that aren't doing anything. Try another server. Try a different mode. See if Conquest that day just happens to not be working out that well. Try Rush. Try Operations. Try something new. Just break that monotony. Break that streak. Try to sort of change up what isn't working. And the other things you could do, of course, are the obvious ones. Leave the server. See if you can rejoin another server. See if that changes anything. And maybe even just take a break. There's times where if I'm getting really mad, if I join 2 or 3 servers in a row and things just aren't going well for me, and I realize that it's my fault, I might just take a half an hour break, go read a book, go check the news, even just walk around. I might go, like if it's summer outside, I might go play basketball, shoot some hoops outside. I might go play football with my buddies if they're up for it. I'm big into photography now too. If it's a nice scene outside, I might just go take some pictures. Like find another hobby or an interest of yours. Sometimes I know you really want to play that game, but if you're not doing well in it, try and find something else to do. Get your mind off of it. Just try to calm down, get yourself back in. Or sometimes you don't even need to do the other hobby. Just take a walk, go take a piss, go get a drink. Maybe if you're of age, grab a beer, have one of those. You know, if you're not, grab some Sprite, orange juice. I don't know, whatever the kids drink these days. Have something of that. The best thing to do, though, is if you're really mad and really frustrated, though, is to just stop playing for the rest of the day or even a couple of hours. I know these ones are obvious, but it helps to hear sometimes somebody just say it. Because I know I'm the type. Sometimes I'll just keep trying to push through and make things better. And when my friends are like, dude, let's just take a break. When I hear somebody else say it, I'm like, okay, we'll take a break. And then it's not too bad. Things generally are better when I go back. So that's the general key, though, is when you're angry, see what's going wrong and try and diagnose what's going wrong. Is it something that you can change? Is it something that's out of your control and it's just unfortunate bad luck that everybody goes through? If you feel like you're getting mad to the point where you're really making mistakes, just leave. Or just leave the game for a bit. It's something that it will build on itself. It will get worse. It will not get any easier. And the other thing I do too is, especially if you're a solo player, if you have a buddy, try and play with a buddy or even a group of buddies. It helps alleviate the stress. When I'm playing by myself and I'm not doing well, I tend to get a lot more mad than if I'm playing alongside my friends. Because if I'm playing alongside my buddies, they might be like, okay, buddy, calm down. It's okay. Or they might tell me that they're having the same problems and now I don't feel as bad anymore, that it's not just my fault. It might be something wrong in the server. Like say sometimes a server might be laggy. I might die on a stupid death because of lag. And then my buddy will be like, oh, don't worry, bud. It's just lag in the server. I'm having the same problem. That might calm you down too. So that's basically what it is. So it's pretty general information. It's general logic. I'm sure a lot of you know it, but it sometimes is good to hear it for some of you that have. If you have a toxic teammate, try to avoid them. Maybe mute them. Leave the squad. If you have a toxic buddy, try not to play with that buddy. But in general, just if you feel like you're not doing as well as you normally should, that's the first step, is just diagnose it. Look at what's going wrong. Is it you? Is your aim off? Are you rushing around too quickly? Are you playing too passive? Are you playing too scared, trying to protect your kill-death ratio? Is the server just horribly imbalanced? Is the behemoth killing you and there isn't really a lot you could do about it by like switching classes or taking appropriate cover? Is the server is the server imbalanced? Maybe you should just leave the server, try another server. Maybe it's you. Maybe frustration and anger is built up. Maybe you should just take a break for a little bit, come back, try a different mode, try a different server. For me, my favorite though is to just take, even at first, if I really feel like playing and I have the free time to, I'll just take the break for 10-15 minutes, come back later on, see if I've calmed down, and if I'm still not doing well, I'll take a break for a day or two. It's not worth the hardship. It's supposed to be fun. It's not worth getting you all angry about. But the thing is, the last point I'll make here is that for rookies to play, you are going to be going through frustration. It's part of the learning curve. Just try to push through it. Try not to let it impact you individually on that big a level. And eventually, if you just continue going through the basics and trying master the slow foundation steps and then build up, you'll find that the frustration level will decrease as you start to see success. There's the unfortunate part about being a rookie is there isn't really a lot to quick fix an issue about frustration. You just have to go through the learning curve, continually try and improve yourself every life, and then eventually, hopefully, it works itself out if you're doing it correctly. So that's it for the Christmas noobs, I guess. I hope that answered your question. For some of you, that's what works for me. Again, if you feel you have a different strategy that works, try it out. Post it in the comments. And I hope it helped those of you that have asked, because like I've said, I've had several people ask about this. Hope that helped you out. Leave a like if it helped you, you're enjoyed, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Have a good one, YouTube.